This past Monday night on Raw, Kofi Kingston quote-unquote shocked the world when he pinned Randy Orton and the WWE Champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley, all in the same night. And obviously, wrestling fans started talking, they started rumbling amongst themselves, and they started discussing the possibility of Kofimania making a return for the upcoming pay-per-view in June, Hell in a Cell. And the question is, will Kofimania make a return? Will Kofi Kingston challenge Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship at Hell in a Cell this upcoming June? And the answer is quite simple. Absolutely not. You see, Hell in a Cell boasts one of the worst track records for WWE. Because with it being a gimmick pay-per-view, that means that 2 or 3 of the top matches, that includes the WWE Championship, the Universal Championship, one or both of the Women's Championships, they have to be on the line inside the demonic structure. And Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship does not sustain enough heat, enough value, enough importance to be placed inside Hell in a Cell. If you ask me, this upcoming June at that pay-per-view, it has to be the culmination of the rivalry, of the feud that has been tepid, to say the least, between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. A feud that has to end with the Almighty on top and still the WWE Champion. So when people started talking and started discussing the possibility of Kofimania returning, I might have gotten excited for about a second because, like most of you, back in 2019, we go all the way back to the premiere of SmackDown on Fox, and we look at the injustice that Kofi Kingston went through against Brock Lesnar. And it's not Brock Lesnar's fault. It wasn't Kofi's fault. It's not the fans' fault. Hell, it's not even Fox's fault. It's just how the business works. And the WWE realized that good business, great business for them, was to have the WWE Championship on the Beast incarnate at that time. And so they did. Again, an injustice because, frankly, you built Kofimania for what, 9-10 months of 2019, and then you squashed it. You literally squashed it in 6, 7, 8 seconds against Brock Lesnar in front of a capacity crowd when fans weren't ready to say goodbye to Kofimania. They weren't ready to say goodbye to Kofi Kingston as a main eventer. As a matter of fact, they were ready to welcome Kofi Kingston as a regular in the main event scene. And unfortunately, they also handicapped the former Jamaican accent superstar by having him come out the following week, the week after he got squashed for the WWE Championship, and have him act like it didn't matter. Have him go back to being and having fun with the New Day. And so fans, they didn't put up much of a fight. They just pretty much forgot that Kofi Kingston was a part of the main event scene and that he was a former WWE champion. So why the hell did WWE have Kofi Kingston beat Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley in the same night? Well, first of all, they were both fluke victories. If you look at them, if you analyze them, they were both roll-ups. They were both small package type pinfalls. Yes, he got the 1, 2, 3 count, and yes, that may come into play later on in the year, possibly heading into Money in the Bank. We could be getting Kingston versus Lashley at that pay-per-view in July. But overall, Drew McIntyre had a lot to do with Kofi Kingston getting the pinfall victory over Bobby Lashley, hence continuing their feud, continuing their rivalry, which is where I believe we are headed. So again, Hell in a Cell would love nothing more than to have Kofi Kingston be built up for a WWE Championship opportunity But he hasn't been. He's nowhere near a threat to Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Business. He's nowhere near there. So right now, WWE used him as a tool. I'm sorry, I don't want to call Kofi Kingston that, but he was used in that way to build up more heat between McIntyre and Lashley. So again, this upcoming June at Hell in a Cell, it's going to be Lashley versus McIntyre inside the demonic structure for the WWE Championship. And Kofi Kingston, he's going to take a few losses tonight and maybe next week and maybe leading up into Hell in a Cell, just because that's how WWE logical booking works. Don't ask me, ask them if you can. And if you do, and if they answer back, let me know. So with that said, tune in later on tonight to Monday Night Raw to see what transpires with Kofi Kingston, to see how Lashley versus McIntyre evolves. Overall, I'm looking forward to this rivalry between McIntyre and Lashley ending, so Lashley can move on to different opponents. So with that said, I've been Alexis Carrillo. Tune in later on tonight to the USA Network, and have a great rest of your Monday.